Hello.
Boop, boop, boop.
Do, 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 do. Boop, bop, boop.
Probably pick it up pretty nicely.
Oh. So, podcasting, huh?
You know, got on my ass about just not shutting the fuck up while we were in Florida the whole time. Like, I constantly had something to say. I would never let quiet fill the void.
Yep, I know. I've known you for 20 years. Yeah. So,
As long as I'm talking, I'm not doing any fucked up shit, so.
Usually what you're doing fucked up is the talking.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
So, boop, bop, beep. Welcome back to the Open Mic Podcast. Back this week with more crime. Told you guys last week we're going to start reformatting some things, trying to add in more crime, more solo episodes, the more the roots of the podcast, me and Jason. Of course, it's me, Mikey B, and with me as always, Jason.
Hey.
Jason won't give you his last name because he has warrants. Jason likes to non-consensually kiss the guys.
It's not the warrants. It's I'm just too easy to find. I'm trying to trim that down.
Does it make you sound less guilty?
Okay.
So, no, we're back. And actually, I'm going to promote some stuff up front. We do have live shows coming up. We're working on formatting, getting closer to that. Once that date is available, we'll let you guys know. We're going to do a test run at a club here in the DFW area. It's at Comedy Arena. You guys come out to that. It'll be fun. We're trying to find ways to incorporate you guys into the show. Maybe we'll have some people... We'll draw people from the crowd to come up and spin the wheel for us. There won't be a spin wheel this week. I think we're going to start reserving those to only guest episodes, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, we don't need We're both like in the 40 years of age range. I feel like spin wheels are just not. I'm too old.
Well, I feel like we're spin wheeling it all the time when we're speaking anyway.
Yeah, so, I got a spin wheel brain, so I never know what side's going to lock and load or what's going to come out. But that
doesn't leave you guys not fucking.
Yeah,
able to spin it.
But also, if we give you the spin wheel every week, you guys will get bored with it. So we gotta tease you a little bit, a little taste of the spins every now and again. We'll bring that back. Yeah. Spin, spin.
I thought you were going a little bit. There was a little finger in there.
Well, that's how you spin the wheel.
Okay.
That's so. If you guys come up to spin the wheel, you gotta do it like this. Do it like prom night. But I do have some stuff coming up. I am actually going to be at the new club here in DFW. It's the Plano House of Comedy. Next week on the 9th, I think I might have some free tickets. I think it's a triple threat show, but I know I am hosting that one next week on the 9th, Plano House of Comedy. And then on the 10th, I'll be at the Addison Improv. I do have a few free tickets left for that. Hit me up at Mikey B the Comic on Instagram. You can also find the podcast there at the Open Mic Podcast. Also, if you guys like this podcast, you're still coming back, you still like this filth, thank you guys for that. I've been wanting to say that. Thank you guys. Really appreciate. I don't know if you want to call it support or whatever, but tell a friend. Do us one favor. Tell one friend. You don't have to go out spreading the word. I'm not even going to ask you to share anything. Leave us a review and tell a friend. Just tell one friend that likes filthy shit too. Just tell them we're here. Let them find us. That way we can try to get some internet money. I want a sponsorship like these fucking 14-year-olds dancing on TikTok and shit. Yeah. I keep starting to get on TikTok and post stuff, and then I'm like this. I feel like a fucking idiot or an old man.
You're like I'm double the age of even doing this.
I'm like fucking double and a half of it, and I can't dance. And I don't want to do. It feels hacky to me to go up there and try to imitate what everybody else is already doing.
Well, I don't want to copy anyone on TikTok either. I want to do all my own original shit. But what's funny is the ones that I do that actually have like the most views and everything, or when I'm like copying something like the ceiling tit and all that stuff.
It's all a distraction so that we don't know that the government is all aliens. But whatever, it's fine.
Reptilians.
But like I said a second ago, welcome back, Open Mic Podcast. We're gonna do a larger portion of crimes on this episode. But first, let's get into some of the classics. Do you have some questions for us?
I do.
Got some ideas to spit about. I did a racism. Never mind. See you later.
So it's like the age-old debate that happens when it's just starting to get cold and shitty out. So, would you rather it be hot or would you rather it be cold? And I don't know my right answer, because let me give my answer first. Is like, I always say I'd rather be cold because it's easy to warm up rather than hot because it's hard to cool off. Yeah. But when it starts to get cold, it feels like it's hard to warm up too, you know? And you're like,
Yeah.
you're like, this one hurts. The other one doesn't hurt. It's just annoying.
Yeah,
to be hot.
trying to warm up though hurts. Like when you're that cold, you got the chest rattles. Or like for me, it's the fingers. My fingies get so cold. I feel like I got ice on my hands.
I feel like just because my like parents and grandparents used to say, "Oh, if you're out in the cold, you're gonna catch a cold and all that stuff. If you get too cold," and like I just like was raised to believe that. And so like every time I'm cold, I'm like, "Shit, I'm getting sick. Here I go. I'm gonna get sick."
So Inuits constantly have the flu.
They had a little bit of like what is it, Munchausen syndrome? You know,
Munchausen.
Yeah,
I got Munchausen syndrome of Hausen's pussy.
Where they like wanted to constantly keep me sick, so I needed their dependency.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Munchausen.
The Munchausen.
What?
Baron Munchausen probably came up with it.
Baron Munchausen.
Yeah, there's a
burying my face while I'm munching some housen, some pussy, munch pussy. I don't know. That just sounds weird to me, Munchausen.
It's a real thing.
I think for me, I'd rather it be whatever it isn't right now. I feel like some people just, because it's hot, they wish it was cold. And when it's cold, they wish it was hot. And I definitely do that. I do like the cold season for hoodie weather because it covers up all these weird curves I got and just makes it one solid area.
Becomes a surprise for whoever's going to take you home.
Yeah, well, I'm a lights off kind of guy, so it's living that life through hibernation. But I am excited for it to cool off so I can wear hoodies.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, it's just when it's like first cold. I think that's the first part. That's where you're just like, oh, man, it was just like hot a week ago.
Let me ask you, you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
When you wear, not zip-ups, when you wear a pullover hoodie, how many layers are you wearing?
Well, it'd be the pullover hoodie, and then you'd have a crew under that, and then you'd probably have a long sleeve and then a T-shirt under that.
4 layers? From Chicago, and you need 4 layers?
That's how it goes.
I'm straight hoodie. Nothing.
I'm literally, what am I wearing?
Nothing.
I'm wearing 3 layers right now. I got the flannel long sleeve shirt and a shirt underneath that.
If I can do it without the camera noticing, I might slide my pants off, dude. If that's too many layers.
Well, I can see your nipples through your shirt.
Well,
I can see the milk duds.
That's the duds. Excuse me, best friend. These aren't duds, all right? These are milk champs I have on my chest, okay? These are the people's champs. You know what I'm talking about? My nipples are always, I don't know, even when it's hot, they're always just ready to fucking go, dude. Jersey Shore time. But, I don't wear under a hoodie. I don't wear T-shirts anymore. I'm liberated. It's like 2 angels cradling my nips through the universe. It's so
until
soft.
you reach that heavy polyester that just fucking rubs your shit raw.
Nah, I just don't buy those kind of hoodies. What, polyester hoodie?
It happens. There's a mix. There's a blend. You order from Wish. Come on.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Takes too long.
Anymore? Okay.
No, I'm impulsive. I can't order from Wish. But no, I just like it's too free. Why am I wasting a shirt, dirtying up a shirt under? And you can't see it. And I'm not going to change and take my hoodie off if I'm wearing a pullover, because I do the thing where then all my belly comes out and everything, and then putting it back on. It's fuck all that.
You know, I wear the bottom shirt, the most bottomest shirt to tuck in because, man, I just tell you, once I see somebody bend over and they got their butt crack hanging out, it's hard for me to take that person seriously for the rest of the. That
lets me know our problem, because you've definitely seen my butt crack
plenty of times.
Hundreds of times.
And did you notice I kind of shut down in conversation?
Oh, you've never respected me. I've noticed that.
I just see the crack and I'm like, oh, I'm not even talking.
You know what? My crack is always out under my shirt, or depending on what position I'm in. But still, when I see someone else's butt crack, I judge it. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, I had a friend crash on my couch, and this is the first time I bought a couch and didn't just take what was on the curb. And he ate a bunch of edibles. He always comes over late. He'll eat a bunch of edibles and pass out, and that's fine, whatever. I'd rather my friends crash here than drive drunk. But
that's very responsible.
His whole ass was out on my new couch, and it was like Along Came Polly, where the belly rubs on his face.
Oh, yeah.
It was like one of those movie moments. I walked out in slow motion. It was like, dun, dun, crack.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, I literally.
And it looks dark in there.
He's a bigger guy, too, and I was shaking him hard. I was like, wake up. And I was like, dude, you got to get your fucking ass off my couch. I was like, you can go sleep on the futon, because I have a futon without a bar in it. But I was just like, dude, get your fucking ass out of here.
Fucking Grand Canyon off my couch.
Yeah,
dude.
Get your fucking grease marker off my couch. And it looked greasy too. It looked like it had a sound if you got close enough, like when you pick up a seashell and you can hear the ocean. They say, I wonder what you hear when you put your ear up to that thing. you hear, you can hear the Grand Canyon. Oh, what else you got?
All right. So, would you rather be scared on live video and have somebody post it, or have somebody post like an embarrassing thing in word fashion of what you did? So, would you rather have somebody talk shit about you, like in wording, or have somebody post like something of you being scared or like freaking you out or something like that?
I think it depends on what I'm being scared of.
Like if they were playing a prank on you of some sort, and it was just something that scared you, or are they like fucking spiders? Snakes. I mean,
I'd rather
catch you around a corner, make you drop everything, anything.
I'd rather that, because talking shit, then we're gonna get into a whole thing. And if they're right or being honest, I'll still admit it, but I'm still gonna be pissed. Fuck you. But if it's you scared me, then yeah, that's a rational thought. Is like when friends would ask you when you're younger, like, oh, you don't want to hit this? What, are you scared? I'd be like, yeah, you've been doing a lot of drugs and you're driving. Turn around.
The reason I asked that was because I know a lot of people that would be like, you know, if you caught them in scared situations, they'd be like, don't post that. Like, don't post that.
No, I think it's funny.
Yeah, I'd say fuck it.
It's human. It's human.
Yeah.
You get scared sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what somebody's saying about me, if it's in like a funny context, but if they're actually saying some shit, you know, I might definitely like want to talk some shit back.
I mean, almost every week I post this embarrassment. What are you gonna fucking? what are you gonna post?
And who
that's
responds
worse?
to that?
Yeah, exactly. What are you gonna post that's worse than this podcast?
I got another question.
All right.
Have you seen the show on MTV? It's called Just Tattoo of Us.
That sounds familiar. No,
Where the people they choose a tattoo for the other person.
I haven't seen that show, but I know what you're talking about.
And it comes out usually like a fucked up situation. They
Yeah.
fight and argue. It's like they'll tattoo some nuts on the leg of a woman or something like that, or say a thing saying like "cum slut" or some shit like that.
Oh, I kind of want to get cum slut tattooed on my back.
So
I don't know why.
Would
That's
you
gonna be funny?
Would you get a tattoo for someone else to choose for you like that? Like, would you go on a show like that?
I already have a bunch of shitty tattoos that I hate.
How about this? Would you go on a show where I would choose a tattaoo for you and you would choose one for me? See, that's the thing. See, it goes both ways.
But do I pick yours after I know what mine is?
No, you don't. You both pick them blindly and reveal together.
No, because there's too much. Because what if I pull back because I'm a generous man and a southern gentleman, and then you pick something that's like a fucking cock shooting cum into my ear or something?
Which wouldn't be anything like that, but I probably would pick something that would like. I'd be like, I really thought you would like it. You'd be like, I absolutely fucking hate it.
Yeah. And I'm probably gonna hate anything that you do just because I didn't pick it.
So if it wasn't me, just what if they paired you with a random or pick another friend or anything like that? I mean, would you?
No, I'd go with you. Go. Be in the hands of someone who knows you at least. Yeah. Because I would try to pick something funny, but something still kind of cool for you. But then also I might get like fucking nutsack genie tattooed on the back of your neck.
Yeah, it could happen. Yeah, that's the show to do it on.
Yeah.
We should submit.
No, I'm not. I don't want to do it. Yeah. Tattoos hurt, and then you got a shitty one on top of that?
Cover it up. Black it out.
Yeah, fuck it.
You know?
You know what they say, live fast, die young, leave a hot corpse. So...
A tattooed hot corpse.
Yeah.
With the nutsacks.
Yeah.
You got some jokes you're working on, man?
I do have some new stuff. Instead of doing the spin wheel this week, like we told you guys, we're going to not. So I got a couple premises there. I'm still flushing out these ideas. Okay, like I want to see the porn where CPS shows up and it's like, hey, this actually you can't. This is not right. And then they fuck the CPS agent. Yeah. Just a thought. Yeah. Where to go? Okay. Like I talk about feed my dad edibles last week. No, I don't think so.
Don't remember.
I'll start over because I have another idea for it. But I was just thinking, like, I don't have the best relationship with my dad. You know that. Like, just for listeners out there, for my mom who already knows, and two other people who don't know me.
She's like, he's right.
Yeah,
They don't.
we have a very rocky relationship, and like I put all that behind me because I don't want my past to determine my future. I did that for me, but like if I'm around my dad for more than 15 minutes. We don't get along at all. Like we're too much alike.
So you got like that little window of 15 minutes where you guys could actually be.
And the thing is, my dad's the older generation where he still calls weed dope. Oh. And my dad won't smoke, but my dad's old, so my dad's got cataracts real bad. He basically has glaucoma, and he won't smoke weed because he calls it dope, and he thinks that you shoot it up. I guess I don't know. It's not fucking dope, but anyways, So the problem, I like getting high with my dad. He won't smoke, but he does have a sweet tooth. So I just bring some gummies or some like some cookies each time I go over. So I'll dose him with some, and he thinks our relationship has mended because I never like told him like, "Hey, I forgive you," because fuck that, I did this for me.
Yeah,
so
give him the pleasure.
He thinks our relationship has mended. He's just stoned out of his fucking mind.
Yeah,
I like he's even just sitting there like watching Fox News, like, "Oh, this is pretty good." He's like, "Yeah, I like this." He's just we watched like Finding Nemo, and he was laughing like he was on mushrooms.
Shit,
he was laughing his ass off.
That makes him bearable.
Yeah,
he's like, man, we actually have a really good time in our relationship later on in life now.
I know some people talk shit about me dosing my dad, but I'm like, he was kind of a dick.
Yeah, fuck him.
It's not like he has a
could be
drug
doing
test.
worse. You could have like killed him, or
My dad's like 76. He can't drive at night. His eyes are so bad, and it actually gives him some relief. But then when he calls Obama the N-word, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go home. I'll see you later, Dad.
All right then.
Like he's not even in office anymore. He's like, good. And I'm like, I'll see you later, Pop.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. This is just a thought. Most manly thing you can do is cut your own dick off. Do that. Go ahead.
That's pretty manly.
That's commitment right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's some women that would happily do it for you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to cut this part out.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like this.
You're like switching gears here.
Yeah. Oh, good. We're early. Let me see. Is there anything else in here that I want to... I mean, doesn't it make sense? Like, and I know some people, some dudes were actually like getting all transphobic on me the other day because I was talking about how, like, doesn't it make sense to date someone who is hot and used to be a man but isn't anymore? I mean, they can line up a high five. They know what they're talking about when they talk about sports.
Both give each other piggyback rides.
Yeah. It's like fucking your best friend, you know. And plus, you get all their old clothes. So I mean, it's all ups.
Trying to tell me something here?
No, I mean you're still a man. So if you're willing to change for me, like really change.
I mean, I identify as a man, and
your body, your choice. I don't know. They were getting all like transphobic on me, and like I don't know. I just feel like it makes more sense, right? Because I mean, what's the old trope you have that you've heard a million comedians do about trying to find something to eat with your wife or girlfriend, right? Like, oh, you never decide.
Yeah.
You'll never have that problem with a trans woman.
You'll both be on board with wings, steak, ribs.
No, not even that. Like, there's no argument. Like, if there's anybody in this world who knows what they want, it's someone who thought about cutting their dick off and committed to it. All right, you're not going to end up at Applebee's. You ask her what she wants, she's going to be like, I want this. I want steak. Okay, that's what we're having.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. There's no dilly-dally.
I wonder if that's true.
I feel like it is.
You think so?
I think so. That's commitment right there.
I think so.
Do you think there's anybody that's ever cut their dick off and was like, I've made a huge mistake?
Yes, I do.
Do you think anybody's ever had it reattached?
Yes, I do.
You think there is?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you think so?
Hey man, it's a topsy-turvy world out here. Take it off, put it on, do an 80s montage with your dick. Do whatever. I don't care.
I mean, isn't it your right nowadays to actually just
always has been.
Thought you made the wrong decision and you decided to just go ahead and change to something else back, different?
Vasectomies are reversible. Why can't the whole thing be?
Like, this is their second sex surgery assignment.
That's all. I think that vasectomy takes though. I think that one sticks. That's a final.
You don't think that they could take like a crafted cock and like form it back into a vagina at some point if they want for enough money?
Do what? Say that again.
Like, okay, so a woman had sex reassignment surgery, became a man. But then maybe later on down the road just decided, fuck this. I'm going to go back to not having a dick. Get sexual reassignment surgery again.
And what about it? What was it?
Do you think they can make it into a vagina again?
Did they make it into a vagina the first time?
No, they made it into a penis.
So, hold on. She was a man, went to woman.
This Kool-Aid is really doing something.
I know, right? It's fucking... So I'm drinking the Kool-Aid right now,
Let's just say the woman started
off.
out a woman. Let's just say it started with a vagina. Then they went to a penis. Then they decided, hey, I want to go back to a vagina. Is that possible?
Well, they could just take the new penis
away. The old
away.
chassis is still there, right?
Yeah, they don't need that new penis. They can throw it in the dumpster. They can sell it to China, dude.
It's got good bones.
Yeah, they sell it to China. Well, there's actually no bone in your wiener, but maybe there is in those.
The vagina bone to be able to just craft the tunnel back again.
I think all they would do is just like undo like
an ice cream scooper. And
No, the little like when you have a tag on your shirt, but if you rip it like the thread, so you can undo the threads, right? I forget what it's called. Fuck. It'd be a lot better if I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I think they just cut it off, just it's just like Six Flags. Just open the gates tomorrow.
Is that still covered under the grounds of acceptable too? It's just like, well, they decided they wanted to change and that change didn't work for them and they decided to change back. So good for them and their change.
I feel like in 2021, it's a crime for me to say anything other than everything's acceptable always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think our 56 people care too much.
56 is pretty generous. That's pretty.
I mean, if 54 of them care, I'm sure they'll all tell their friends. So
it's 45.
Okay.
Last time I checked, we had 46 subscribers, and 3 of those are you, me, and your wife. So,
okay, so 43 others.
Yeah. I think that's all I have. Just a thought I had. I don't know why I wrote this down, but I think we should all legally have to come every morning before we leave the house. I think everybody should be a cum mandate. That's a mandate I can support.
What if there was a way without having to go through the act of jerking off and all that? Though, it was just something you could use, like some sort of a vessel, a cap, or something. You just touch, boom, cum, done, go.
You just slap on your
just whatever you do,
Cuminator 2000,
whatever it is. Yeah.
I am the Cuminator.
I mean, I'm sure they exist.
What?
Something to do that, that self-jerker offer kind of
self-jerker offer. That's the perfect name. The
self-jerker offer.
Yeah, I got 2 of those right here.
Here we go.
I saw an ad for something earlier, real quick, before we get into this crime. It was I was watching porn, which I had to stop watching porn to do this podcast. I'm going to finish when you leave. But it was an ad for. It was like one of those sex toys, but it was like. There was you hold the stick, but it was just this part of a face, just like a nose and mouth, and you just fuck the mouth. And I was like, well, that's interesting.
Why is the nose there?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Why is the nose there?
Why is the nose even there? I mean, when you're done, you pull it off and smack it around on the nose, and be like, yeah.
I just thought of a hate crime, but I feel like I have to say it.
Okay.
Though that's not a nose.
Uh-oh.
Those are the Chinese holes.
Uh-oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Cancel this man.
That doesn't mean I'm racist. Stereotypically, you'll have small penises. If you have a big one and you're Asian,
good for you.
Just tell me about it. Don't show me. Just tell me about it, and I'll be like, hey, this guy actually has a big dick.
Stereotypical racism is funny. I don't care what anyone says.
It's okay. You can't get canceled if no one's listening anyways.
Fuck it.
Yeah. I like self-deprecation.
You want some stupid crime stories? Some funny crime?
Yeah, let's move on because now it's time for some crime stories.
Time for crime stories, bitch. Bitch. Time for crime stories, bitch.
Something cherry pomegranate. I don't
Sucking
know.
the fucking ice cubes here.
Fucking cube sucker over here.
All right, so a woman accused of plowing through ex-boyfriend's funeral is now charged with vandalizing a Jesus statue as well as assault.
Okay.
This bitch you don't want to fuck with. That's what I'm going to say.
It makes me wonder if she's the reason he's having a funeral.
Maybe. Blair Whitten.
I already don't like
Here
that
we
name.
go.
I already don't like the name.
Who made social media posts before the alleged crashing of her ex-boyfriend's funeral, is now accused of also spray painting the face of a Jesus statue in Fargo, North Dakota. This is where the Fargo story
I love
was.
Fargo. Love me some Fargo.
A Minnesota woman who allegedly plowed through a cemetery during her ex-boyfriend's funeral services has now been accused of an additional prior act of chaos. Blair Whitten, 28. She's young. Crazy. She likes that day. She likes to kill it.
I don't know. You give me weird eye contact. I don't like that.
It locked for a second there. And
Yeah,
we're just
yeah.
like, hey. All right. She made headlines in May after allegedly trying to run over people at a Fargo, North Dakota cemetery on Saturday. This is actually Saturday, September 20, whatever the fuck that it was.
the last Saturday in September.
Yeah. They were putting Colin McDonald, 24, to rest. That dude's young, 24. She had to have something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, she's 28. She's sleeping in the cradle. You know what I mean? Smoking rock in the cradle.
Well, 4 years younger.
Yeah. Well,
That means when she was 18, she was messing around with 14-year-olds.
I doubt they were together by then.
That's pretty cool.
One of my ex-girlfriends was like 25 and I was 36.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 9-year difference with my wife.
Yeah. Luckily,
Doesn't seem so weird now.
Yeah, it doesn't. But
I also wouldn't have hollered at her when she was like fucking 5.
It was just weird because I have nieces that are older and the same age as her. So like around family things, they were like talking about the same shit, and I was like, "Oh, I don't like this."
I feel so old right now.
I've made a huge mistake.
Well, I'm not bringing her back around again.
Yeah, she's gone.
Multiple complainants reported that Whitten was driving her vehicle inside the cemetery in a manner with extreme indifference for human life, which created substantial risk of serious bodily injury to persons in the cemetery. I'm so fucking glad I didn't stutter that one fucking time, dude.
I was gonna compliment you on it, but now you.
I sucked my own dick over it.
Yeah.
It's fine, yeah. All right, so Jessica Schneideldecker.
Let me see.
Schneideldecker. I think it's Schneideldecker.
Schneideldecker. Yeah. Schneideldecker.
Yeah. I think you're going a little too German on it. I think she's more like
Jessica Schneideldecker.
Midwestern.
Jessica Wiener Warmer. Jessica Kielbasa. That's
all right.
Polish.
So Jessica Dick with the Fargo Police Department told the news outlet that she knew she wasn't welcome, and she still did, instead of leaving peacefully, try to run everybody over that was at the funeral, including myself. This is what the police officer said. McDonald's current girlfriend, this is the guy that
she tried to run over the cop.
She tried to run everybody over. She's like, everybody dying at this motherfucker.
Why? Okay, go ahead.
McDonald's current girlfriend, this is the guy that's dead. She said nobody was actually physically injured at the cemetery, but she was driving erratically and chasing people down. Everybody was like pretty good at jumping out of the way and getting hit by a car.
She's got to be a good driver too. There's a lot of tombstones.
I mean, well, yeah, it's Fargo too, though. I mean, don't you think these people are like ready for something to go down?
No,
we've
it's
been waiting
Fargo.
for this the whole fucking time.
No, it's Fargo. Every time we watch any of the Fargo shows, all the people just seem a little slower.
Seems that way.
Yeah, it seems like they're nice, but they're actually dicks. It's just the way they sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in some like groups on Facebook that like Fargo people that like the show and movie and stuff, and like there's a lot of people that are from there, and actually most of them have like some of the most cleverest comments, like just being smart asses and shit. So close to Canada, smart ass land.
Yeah.
You know. So all right. Well, Whitten became persona non grata at the funeral service. Have you ever heard that before?
I have, and I've always wondered what the fuck that means.
Persona non grata at the funeral service after reportedly penning bizarre negative social media posts following his death.
What does that mean? Does that mean she wasn't welcome?
Persona non grata. Person not good? Person not good.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Hold on. Let's see. Persona non grata. I'm just going to go ahead and just let Google figure this one out for me if it decides to work. Here we go. Persona non grata. You little bitch, can't even talk. An unacceptable or unwelcome person.
Okay, yeah.
Why can't they just say, Whitten became an unwelcome, acceptable person at the funeral service after reportedly penning bizarre negative social media posts?
Why can't they say, we didn't want this bitch here?
They just didn't want her there. She even allegedly posted that she had killed McDonald, even though he had died in his sleep following a surgery.
She said she killed him?
Yeah, she was just claiming all kinds of fucked up shit. This chick's like,
she's one of those bitches that today I saw a video of a lady on the subway in New York, and of course they use the term Karen. I'm so over that term. She's a bitch.
Bury it.
Stop sugarcoating it, Karen. You're a fucking bitch. But she was just screaming on the subway, "Are there no gentlemen left? Will no one give me a seat?" And just kept screaming. This guy turned around and she goes, "Don't touch me!" And he looked at her and he just turned back around. He's like, "I didn't touch her."
I've seen that video, and she was like an entitled like Manhattan woman, like probably hadn't left her apartment, controlled rent for like fucking like 3 years.
Her car broke down. She's probably one of the New Yorkers that actually has a car or lives out on Long Island.
My Mercedes wasn't working.
I had to come see my mother's chiropodist.
Like one of the New York Jewish kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
You always hear shit like that on The
Long
Sopranos.
Island.
Like, I got to take my mother to the chiropodist. They come up with these weird fucking terms for doctors. I don't understand. I'm like, what is?
I don't even think gabagool is gabagool. I don't even think that's the name.
It's something else.
Yeah, we called it gabagool since we was little kids, So it's gabagool.
It's capicola.
Yeah, there you go. Or prosciutto. Or there's prosciutto.
Whatever. I don't know.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Sounds delicious.
Family and friends at McDonald have been saying they've been dealing with some threats and harassment from Witten for at least the last 5 years before his death. She was charged with one
They
count.
broke up for 5 years?
Yeah, they still hadn't been together for 5 years.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, this guy was really trying to turn his shit around. And then,
5 years of
surgery,
chasing
the
this guy?
doctors killed him.
And then that's what sucks about this world, because you can get involved with somebody. It's always great in the beginning, and then you realize you're not in love. And however the relationship ends, somebody cheats, whatever. If it's over, it's over. You both have the fucking right and choice to just move on and find whatever does make you happy, or fuck off, or whatever. But the thing that sucks is you can get stuck with someone like this who just won't let go.
Won't let go.
5 fucking years.
Crazy
she's
ass
hounding
shit.
this guy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Is she out of jail or what's up?
Right? You want to holler a little
No.
bit? I mean, take your chances. Swipe
Nah.
right. No?
I have been kind of lonely, but
Well, she pled not guilty back in May, so all the shit's going on. I want to just scoot ahead and show you a picture of her, by the way. You can post that.
she looks like Lady Gaga. Like, she has a face that Lady Gaga probably makes when she farts, but it's her personal, it's her like permanent face. She's not ugly.
And face and neck tattoos.
What was the neck? Let me see. Is that a triangle on her neck?
It's like a diamond.
That's a triangle.
Diamond supply.
I will. Yeah, she's got a fucking full. Yeah, it's just a diamond.
How many teardrops
She got a
you
couple
see?
teardrops. One for the dude that she killed, who died after surgery.
It's from her and her homegirls walking through Echo Park,
Yeah.
like Mi Vida Loca and shit. She ain't playing around. Now it appears that Witten is accused of another bizarre act just weeks before the cemetery incident. A marble statue of Jesus, which stood outside St. Mary's Cathedral in downtown Fargo, was spray painted completely black, face, body, head, everything, in the morning hours of April 17th. The outlet reported that investigators alleged that she was the culprit. It had been caught on video. She was charged with one misdemeanor, criminal mischief, in connection with the statue's vandalization. So, assault, reckless endangerment,
And a dick to Jesus.
criminal damage to property. Fucking Jesus.
See,
shit
she
out.
just spray painted in black.
Just like all black. I don't think it was a racial thing. I think, but I mean, I can't speculate. I guess.
Blackface.
I just think that she was just painting the whole thing black just to show, like, just it was all black.
She blackface. Jesus. Do you think Jesus is black?
I don't think Jesus was like a white man.
I don't think he was white.
No, not if it was
I
in the
think-
Middle East. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, he was Mexican or like not white. He ain't a white guy.
A form of native Indian of some sort. I think maybe. I don't know.
He's Asian. What if he was Asian?
What if?
Maybe they're very efficient people.
Don't you think that they would have painted the pictures though by now of him having just like the black hair and skin, different look?
I don't know.
eyes,
I've
everything?
seen pictures of Black Jesus. I watched
I've
the
seen
show Black Jesus.
I've seen Black Jesus pictures. I've seen obviously white Jesus pictures. I've seen Indian and Muslim Jesus
I've seen
pictures.
an Asian Jesus.
You have seen an Asian looking Jesus
Yeah.
with like all the traits of the Asian appearance.
Skin
in the
of a
face.
hot dog, hair of a Chinaman.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
And
It's an Always Sunny quote. Calm down.
And
Also, Chinaman's not offensive if they're from China. It's a man from China.
now is the Jesus painted with like I'm just gonna with Chinese shaped eyes, like the way that the
Yeah. He looked like an Asian man, Jesus.
Well, because technically all that shit did happen in Asia. Actually, I mean it was Asia.
Was it Asia?
Well, that continent is Asia.
What was it? Israel?
Yeah, it's in Asia.
Israel's in Asia?
Fucking Asia, man. Yeah,
All right, well,
better believe it.
I don't know. I don't own a map. It's not like I'm going to Israel. It's not like I finished high school or whatever.
No. Or middle school either, or
So what did or elementary school?
Yeah.
But what did she get charged with?
what I just told you: reckless endangerment, assault, and criminal damage to property with vandalization.
I mean, like, how much time did she get? Any time, or is
It's
it like
ongoing.
probation?
It's all still ongoing. This all just literally happened.
Well, she's white, so she'll probably get like 18 months probation.
The judge will find like some sort of fucking.
Yeah.
They'll feel bad for her.
That doesn't sound like someone they'll send to prison, but they'll send someone with just like weed on them to prison.
Yeah.
With rapists and murderers and shit like that.
Shouldn't be doing dope.
I don't know. So that baffles me. 5 years?
5 years.
5 fucking... Leave
5
the guy
years.
alone.
Have you ever known any people that had like crazy exes that came lurking around years later and stuff still?
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
You.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
You forgot
I was
about it?
almost just
Yeah,
forgetting
no.
about it.
Nope, they always pull you back in. Yeah, that's crazy. I've known people like that. I've had dude friends that like we'd go out on the weekends and they're like looking around everywhere. I'm like, what is your deal? And they're like, so and so is going to show up. I'm like, whatever, dude. And then they show up, and I'm like, fuck. And then you got to get them out of there.
I told you they were going to show up.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't think she was really going to show up.
I've even had those dudes get back with those girls on those nights, and
Yeah.
I'm like, did you riding with her?
I
Dude?
remember you told me a
know what I mean?
funny story about you staying with the dude with the Blue Expedition again, and like his crazy girlfriend situation and all that shit.
was a crazy ass
naked
night.
women running around yelling out
Yeah.
windows.
She came in my room naked. She came over banging on the door. He had his new girlfriend there. They weren't even together anymore. Basically runs her off. She like left out a window because she knows that
She
his
left the new
old one's crazy.
girlfriend left.
Yeah, because she knew she was crazy and she just didn't want to deal with it because she already had before. And then he lets her in there trying to talk, and then she's going crazy. And then she calls the cops. And the other chick comes back to get her purse. And then the cops are there, and this chick's walking around fucked up and naked. I go in my room and pretend to be asleep, and I hear the door open, and I just like pull the covers tight, and then she's like shaking me, and I'm like, what? And I look, and she's like completely naked and like rubbing herself. She's like, do you have sex while Eric talks to the cops? And I'm like, is it going to be long? But
Yes.
it was always some shit like that.
And loud and everything with her. She wanted to get busted.
Oh yeah, screaming and shit. Fucking
Yeah.
4 a.m. out front of our apartment.
I'm fucking your roommate.
Yeah, just it's fucking so stupid. He was actually, do it, man. Get her off my back. I'm like, I don't want her. You take her, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'll try. But
And then they all just disappeared.
let's move into this other crime story. We're actually going to cover another one that's probably going to span the rest of this episode.
All right.
Or it'll be a short episode. It's definitely spanning, but no, it won't be short. But actually, we're going to cover someone that you guys may have heard of, may have not, but you ain't heard of it from us, bitch. So we're going to cover. We're going to cover the dating game killer, the serial killer. Did I get that right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Fucking nailed it, cutting that part out.
Yeah.
No, but the dating game killer, this guy was on the dating game. We're going to cover this one. If you guys know anything about it, sit back and maybe hear our version. And if you don't, we think the story's pretty interesting. It's kind of strange, but let's get into it. You want to start us off?
Yeah, sure thing. So our tale begins.
Yeah.
Boosh. Okay. Our tale begins in 1978, the year I was born. There you go for some age right
78?
there. 1978.
Oh, yeah.
For most people, September 13th, 1978 was an ordinary Wednesday, but for Cheryl Bradshaw, who happened to be the bachelorette on the TV show The Dating Game, that day was most notable. It was more than notable. She chose handsome bachelor number 1, Rodney Alcala, a.k.a. the dating game killer.
A.K.A. Johnny Burger. A.K.A. Johnny Burger with a different spelling of burger. Yeah.
But at that very moment, he was keeping a deadly secret. He was a serial killer. If not for women's intuition, Bradshaw would have almost certainly remembered today as being one of Alcala's victims. Instead, the show ended. They conversed backstage. He offered her a date that she'd never forget. Bradshaw got the feeling that her handsome potential suitor was a little off. She said, fuck that.
Yeah, you got to be a smooth talker to talk your way in and back out of some pussy in the same day.
Yeah.
Like literally, they got you together on TV, and you were so creepy afterwards.
Like, you won
She
the
was like-
dating game. Like,
Yeah.
fucking be cool, and you might get some pussy, bro. You know, I mean, it's the 70s. Everybody was fucking.
Yeah, and actually, I have a video. The video you sent me, I'm going to play this video. I'm going to play so that you guys can hear the audio of him on the dating game. Did you finish that? You're done with that part, right?
One other thought. Bradshaw had stated that he was acting really creepy, so she turned down his offer, and she stated that she never wanted to see him again.
Wow.
So they don't force them to go on these dates. She just got
can't.
that funny vibe and was like, ain't happening, bro.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that game was. I remember watching the dating game when I was younger, and I always thought like these dudes are creepy.
Yeah.
Right?
You know which part made me feel icky was when they would say whoopee.
Yeah,
When you make whoopee, when you make whoopee together,
it makes me feel like you're just making Cool Whip.
I always thought of whoopee cushions.
Whoopee cushion.
I
yeah,
knew it
guess,
was
yeah.
sex, but I mean, like, it's just when you make whoopee, I just
Yeah, you're adults when you make the fucking. Don't whoopee just sounds so
Why
dumb.
is it correlated with a fucking thing that makes a fart sound?
I guess you ain't doing it right, pal.
Oh, okay.
You ain't never heard that during sex?
Oh yeah. No, that just it reminded me now. yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But my
yeah.
girlfriend go to a different school than you guys. So
No, you ain't met my girlfriend. I call her my little pussy fart.
real quick, a background check couldn't even uncover the whole story on Rodney Alcala's case. The whole story consists of at least 4 prior murders that hadn't yet definitively been linked to him. But our tale is going to lead us in that direction. Let's hear some of this fucking shit he's saying.
Listen, let me pull this video up. This shit is. I should have had it queued. Here it is, right here. But just listen. I mean, we listened to it earlier. You guys listen. This shit is creepy.
Occupation or income, okay? And we're going to start by having them say hello to you and see how they sound. Number 1, would you say hello to Cheryl, please? We're going to have a great time together, Cheryl. Okay.
I don't like that he used her name.
Bachelor number 1.
Yes.
What's your best time?
The best time is at night. Nighttime.
Oh boy.
That's when he gets most of his work done.
Because that's the only time there is.
The only time? What's wrong with morning, afternoon?
Well, they're okay, but nighttime's when it really gets good. Then you're really ready.
I'm a drama teacher.
Oh, I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah,
The
I'm already feeling like gross right now.
I'll try to get a version of this video to post on our Instagram and Facebook so you guys can see, or we'll at least post a link. But I mean, he even says it like a serial killer, and he confidently is like, nighttime is the only time. Like,
And he's got like a real Richard Ramirez kind of a vibe to him too. Like his face is a little Night Stalker-y.
And he's actually kind of he's more handsome than Richard Ramirez, but he's actually kind of a handsome dude. Like he looks like he gets laid all the time.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Where you guys I don't want to ruin anything. That's why I'm kind of stuttering right now, because there's like more to the story that you guys are going to hear. But let's hear some more of this video.
Audition each of you for my private class. Bachelor number 1. You're a dirty old man.
Why is she doing that voice?
Come on, over here.
That's him, right?
Yeah.
All of these are him.
Why are they laughing?
Oh, so that's what's funny in the 70s. They found it cute. It was cute.
Yeah. Rapey was cute. It was cheeky in the 70s. It was fucking flirtatious. That was creepy as shit for him to just be like, oh, come on. That's what a serial killer says.
It sounds like it, like while you're tied up and facing the pillows and gun to your head.
Yeah. Without the audience, it sounds a lot harsher. Let's see. There's a little more to this.
Bachelor number 1. I am serving you for dinner.
He's already moaning like a creep.
Called, and what do you look like?
I'm called the banana, and I look really good.
Hold on.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
Peel me.
Little did she know she might have gotten peeled later.
Yeah, I feel like he was gonna peel this bitch, fucking peel her wig back.
So this guy like lives a serial killer life, and in the middle of it, he's like, you know what? I really like that game show, The Dating Game.
Yeah, you know what? I want to kill a bitch from TV.
I want to kill someone that I met on TV.
That's that'd be crazy if he actually got to kill this lady. Like,
it would have been.
I'm not saying I like want that or anything, but the story would definitely be different.
No, she obviously got away, and she knew right off the bat, women's intuition, that this guy was a piece of shit. But I
go
mean,
with your gut.
This guy's like trying to get himself some like trophies and shit. You know, he's like trying to go for like just stupid shit, stupid achievements.
Yeah, achievements. Oh, there's a little more. Let's see. There's not much more. Let's see if there's anything worth making fun of this fuck for.
Later.
Welcome back to the dating game, and Cheryl, we have reached the moment of truth, as we call it.
All right, so I'm going to describe to you guys the other bachelors, the other choices, which you didn't see, but still.
Will that date be bachelor number 1?
Let's see.
Bachelor number 2 or bachelor number 3? Who gets the date?
These guys are so ugly.
So I'll take 1.
I like bananas.
I fucking hate bananas. I don't even like banana. I'll drink like a banana daiquiri if somebody just hands me one on the beach. But other than that, these other two guys, okay.
I think she was talking about a different banana, though.
Yeah, she's talking about that dick. that wiener. See, She fucking okay. So the other choices she had, and now you didn't get to see him in the dating game, right? Till you picked him.
Yeah.
So contestant number 2 is like big lapels. This is 70s, so he's got like the big lapels. It just looks like a greasy car salesman from the 70s.
Like
Cliche.
sideburns, everything, like a circular style hair.
Yeah,
you know,
and
like
the next-
white fro. Right?
Yeah, he had the Jew fro going,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
because I'm sure this is California, it's Burbank.
Tinted glasses, maybe.
No glasses.
Okay.
But the next guy is bald, and he's got the thin comb over, like he's got fucking half of razor wire protecting a prison of bad thoughts.
I feel like he has Jeffrey Dahmer glasses on.
He no glasses for him either, but
No.
he's like balding. It just looks like he's auditioning a new wife to beat. He looks like he hits women.
So he's wearing a wife beater under that shirt.
He's wearing a wife beater for a soul. Oh, let's see. This is the very end. It shows them together. Let's see.
This is your date, and I want to tell you something.
I thought there was something at the end here. Let me just see this real quick. If not, we can cut it out.
He's a serial killer. He likes to wear women's skin.
Yeah.
He likes to fucking cut their heads off. No, I don't know. Rodney Alcala.
He gives her a kiss, and they have the same hairdo. They have the same exact hairdo.
That was a common occurrence, I think, in the 70s with a feathered look.
Yeah, everybody had the feather matted hair.
And all kids had like that fucking kid from The Shining, the little mushroom style haircut. It always looked like a mushroom bowl.
The Bobby Brady. I always
Yeah.
call it the Bobby Brady. Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. We'll try to get that video up, or at least some screenshots, so you guys can get a look at this fucking guy. But a little bit about Rodney.
Hold on a second before you go into that. Had the popular dating show performed the background
That's right.
checks on their bachelors, they would have discovered that this guy was good looking and creepy, but he also spent 3 years in prison for raping and beating someone. This is what landed him on the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list. But more on that in a bit. A background check wouldn't even uncover the whole story because Rodney Alcala's case, the whole story, consists of at least 4 prior murders that hadn't yet been definitively, did I read this again? Definitively linked to him again.
Yeah. And what he's basically saying is this guy had already spent 3 years in prison for beating and raping women and murders and suspected murders and is out already. And Dating Game didn't catch that. Did you even, I mean, I know they didn't have Google back then, but did you even ask anybody or do any research?
Well, like, as long as he's got a license, I mean, he's probably fine.
He's a man. He rules the world. He can do whatever he wants. It's the 70s.
Hard-working American.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you can, like, knock up a lady at 13, right? Back in that day?
I don't know. I wasn't fucking around. You were the one born in 78. How old was your mother?
I don't remember shit. I don't know
Yeah.
what she was. I was a little on the older side. She was like in her 30s when she had me.
Oh, boy. That's almost scarier. Yeah. My mom was 35 when she had me. She's old. But, yeah, they should have done some research. A little bit about this guy, Rodney. It's Rodney. They said Alcala on the show, but I'm going to say Alcala just because
Makes you feel better?
Makes you feel like a fucking fairy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It feels weird to say Alcala a bunch, but that was racist. But no, Rodney Alcala, the fucking killer was born in San Antonio, Texas. Represent. Yeah, no, that's talk about a Texas.
Oops. I mean, yeah.
Talk about a San Antonio spur. You know what I mean? No, but he was born in 1943 in San Antonio. His father actually took the family back to Mexico when he was 8, only to leave him there like 3 years later. So he got to Mexico and he's like, you know what? Fuck this. This
Fuck
sucks.
these people.
Yeah, it's kind of
I hate
fucked
my
up.
family.
And we won't get too extensively into his background, but like at 17, he was in the Army just as a clerk. He was in there for 3 years. Then he had a mental breakdown. Then they ruled him to have it's like a
PTSD and some
not
mental
even
issues.
not even PTSD. It was social anxiety disorder
yeah.
or something like sad social anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
But
He's just sad.
they medically discharged him, so he spent 3 years there, and he's actually a very smart guy. Isn't that saying something to like say? Okay, he's a handsome fella.
Handsome.
That was a buxom lady, I'll say, but he was a handsome fella, and he had a IQ of 135.
That's high.
Went on to go to UCLA. He even got himself a degree.
Okay.
But isn't that saying something like Ted Bundy was a handsome guy and
Yep,
smart?
smart.
This guy, how many handsome serial killers that were smart? Like all the smart dudes are killing ladies. So
And all y'all keep running to these hot dudes. They're gonna kill you.
yeah, they're gonna
Just
fucking
saying.
kill you. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna ruin you.
He's just gonna kill that pussy.
Yeah.
Right, no, just kidding.
I probably won't even injure it, but no. That's just weird. All these smart. You're like, why? I don't understand that. But So he went on to, after he got out of the army, he went to UCLA. Like I said, high IQ. He got a degree. It doesn't say here what it was in. But like most serial killers, a lot of serial killers have their signature or their style, right? He definitely had a signature and a style. His signatures were beating, biting, raping, strangling, and often choking the victims until they were unconscious. And then when they'd wake up, he'd start the process all over
Bring
again.
them back to and do it.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It's fucking... And the thing is, choking and strangling, if you waited a few years, women would just be into that, pal. They just like it.
Like, there was a whole movement for that shit. People like it.
I don't know when it happened, but I remember sex was sweet, and now it's rough.
Yes.
But
Sweet and sour, just like some Sour Patch Kids.
well, sweet and sour, just like what I had for dinner last night. Actually, if you want some after this, I got some in the fridge.
So we got our first victim. We got our victim is Tally Shapiro. This is our 8-year-old girl that he turned into.
Oh, and I meant to tell you guys, this next part might be a little rough, and if we're telling you it's rough, it's a little rough.
We've toned it down. We've toned it down here.
We're only giving you the meat and potatoes. You can fucking skip the carrots on this one.
In the salad. I don't know I did that. But, okay, so the victim was Tally Shapiro, 8 years old. He lured her to his Hollywood apartment in 1968. Shapiro barely survived the situation. It was a passerby who had reported to police a possible abduction. Alcala fled the apartment when the police arrived and remained a fugitive for years after that. He moved to New York and used the name John Berger, Berger, to enroll into film school at the New York University, where, ironically enough, he studied under Roman Polanski.
Oh boy, yeah, it's like
another guy who's got a reputation
for fucking young people,
diddling a little underage,
fucking gross fuck. But she was married to Sharon Tate, right? Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That one guy from the what was the Alpha Dog movie that was playing Roman Polanski, right? Sharon Tate's husband or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Creepy.
It was.
That's not cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's like this guy went through a serial killer's fucking education program. Like he went through a boot camp.
Seems like it.
It's funny that he met Roman Polanski after he did time for that, but
maybe that's how they bonded. He's like, no, I will take him into my class.
Ugh,
yes.
I don't. What accent is that?
I don't know. Whatever kind of thing.
It's a diddler's accent. That's a diddler's fiddle.
I know you. Hey, come here.
No, but actually, after being recognized thanks to an FBI poster, he got busted by a poster.
By like where next to all the ones you pull the little fucking tab off. Like, hey,
it was right above. Can you help me find Fluffy, my cat, and right below, who wants to learn guitar? There's this fucking piece of shit. And people were like, "Hey, my guitar teacher, that's him.
That's him. I seen him."
But he was finally identified as the perpetrator. He was the perp in the rape. But he was finally identified as the perp in the rape and attempted murder of Tally Shapiro. And he was arrested in 1971, but only sent to prison on charges of assault because Shapiro's family kept her from testifying, making a rape conviction unattainable.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, back in the 70s, I feel like, back in that time, people would be like, they didn't want people to know.
That was too high profile.
They were ashamed, but still, like, he's got to pay for his crimes, right? I mean, they should have let him.
3 years.
But that's for 3 years. But, I mean, even back then, if you get accused of rape, I think they give you like 6 months and a high five back then. 'Cause they did not treat the shit right back in the fucking 60s,
was she
70s.
hot, though?
Yeah.
She's hot.
Well,
Cool.
she was 8, so she wasn't.
She's hot?
No,
Yeah.
she's not. Get on this side of the bars. But yeah, so he got arrested from that. Spent 3 years behind bars. Soon spent another 2 years in prison for assaulting a 13-year-old girl.
So he's
that's
making
still
a thing out of this.
Well, it's still on my. I'm
just saying he's making a thing out of this with a 13-year-old girl.
It's I mean, just because one's 8 and one's 13 doesn't make one 21-year-old. Okay.
Well, the math adds up.
Yeah, it doesn't. The math adds, but it don't. Then after that, authorities. It says at the story. It says then authorities regrettably let Alcala travel to New York to visit relatives. Regrettably, yeah, he's raping children.
We wish we didn't do that in hindsight. Yeah,
that's fucked up. They let him go to New York to visit relatives, Was it like, well, before I go to jail, I'd really like to see my cousin Lou. Is that okay? Do you mind?
Taking a pass, a weekend pass?
That's fucking bullshit.
They're like, it should be safe. He's just a raper. He's not,
that's in New York. The women are tough.
he's not killing anyone out here.
Well, while he was in New York, he was there for 7 days. They believe within 7 days of his arrival, he killed a college student named Elaine Hover, who was the daughter of a popular Hollywood nightclub owner, and she was the goddaughter of both Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin.
Blue eyes, baby.
This guy's hitting a fucking celebrity's tale of rape and fucking pillage.
He's really trying to get on the radar
world
here, it seems like. Or is it just inadvertent that he's getting on the radar here?
I feel like this guy's just like, if he wasn't like raping women and going to prison, he probably could have been a celebrity of some sort. He was a handsome man.
He knew how to rub the right elbows, it seemed like, to get in.
He was rubbing some of the wrong elbows, from what I mean.
I mean, already during this thing, Roman Polanski, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, on the dating game coming up. I mean,
isn't like a known thing that like old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra has like mob ties?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that mean like
Yeah.
Dean Martin and Sammy Davis do too? Wouldn't you think they would? That's their goddaughter. Don't you think they would like sick something on this guy?
Go get the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Soon after all of it happened, Alcala somehow got a job at the Los Angeles Times as a typesetter in '78, using his real name. Strangely enough, after all of this. Again, when background checks weren't ever present.
Yeah, I've been turned down from a lot of jobs for background checks, and I don't even have felonies. This guy's working for the LA Times. He's fucking taking film school with Roman Polanski. He's on TV. He's on the dating game. After he's already been in prison for like raping and beating women and attempted murders.
What if Sammy Davis Jr. was like, he's still a good guy though, man. We're going to give him a place here. Put him on the LA Times.
I don't think that happened. I don't think the newspaper. I don't think he had any ties in the newspaper.
He just like answered to ad in the paper to work for the paper. They're like, yeah, fuck it. Come
I feel like he just showed up and like winked at the secretary, and she's like, "Let me set up your office."
He's a really good looking guy.
Yeah. He's clearly going to do what he wants.
But he's a typist by day, and then by night, he lured young girls to be part of his professional photography portfolio. So that was his angle. Some of them were never to be heard again. He would approach girls and say, "Hey, let's get some pictures. You're really beautiful."
He would probably approach girls and say that he works for the paper and he's a photographer and he's doing. He probably made up a fake
the paper
gig
that says press on my hat.
Yeah, it says press. Do you see that? It's official.
I'm the press.
Take your pants off.
All right. So leading in.
Well, how the dating game killer was finally caught is another thing. I know I kind of already told you guys, but the year after the dating game appearance,
which was 78, and let's get our timeline right. So 78.
So this is like 1979-ish.
71 was when the first thing happened.
68. Yeah, 1968.
Okay. All right.
So this guy, there was free love in the streets, and you're in California, and you still gotta come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
Just go to a concert, bro. You're making a chick.
You're making all those other handsome guys look bad. What the fuck?
There was a ton of titties at those concerts back then.
Oh, there's titties everywhere. I mean, they were a little different shaped and not as big, but still, they're titties.
They're all smoking grass.
Yeah,
you know, and
they're all toting a lid. You know, but
what was a lid, an ounce?
Nobody knows. I've asked
it's
so
just
many
a
old
nice
stoners.
Cluster of weed. I think a lid was just a nice cluster of weed.
I feel like it was like the lid of their jar, whatever they had it in. I don't. I've asked so many old stoners what a lid was, and the problem is they're old stoners, so they don't remember.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a 3-finger or a 4-finger bag. I'm not sure.
No, I was hoping for a 5-finger lid, but my thumb's not a finger. And do you want to take some acid with my mom and me?
Yes.
We already did.
That was in the Kool-Aid.
So after that, about a year after the dating game aired, or the appearance, 17-year-old Lane Leadham was lucky enough to walk away unscathed. I like that word, unscathed. I should use it more. Anyways, she was unscathed from a photo shoot with Rodney Alcala, and she remarked how he showed her his portfolio, which in addition to shots of women, like other women, probably showing her women that he's already killed and fucking murdered and raped.
Guaranteed.
And beat. In addition to those shots, it included several other pictures, spread after spread. I like to spread after spread.
Literally.
Of naked teenage boys. Like he was trying to warm her up. Like, you like this? How about some of this? A little bit of that.
You don't like these?
that?
Well, how do you think of these?
Yeah. That's wild. I'm sure he showed her pictures of people that he already killed too. That's kind of fucked. I feel like that was a mind game for him.
Is this portfolio something that could be found somewhere?
I think police have since released parts of his portfolio to the public to aid in victim identification. So to me, that says they're still looking into cold cases to see if there's anyone else they can find that he killed. Upon questioning Samso's friends, a police sketch artist drew up a composite of Alcala. Alcala's former parole officer recognized the face. Why did they write it like that? You're making me look bad, writers. Basically, they had they questioned.
We skipped ahead here a little bit. Hold on. So the case would finally break when Rodney Alcala's killing spree was that of a 12-year-old Robin Samso. She returned from Huntington Beach, California.
Skip that one for me.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So she disappeared from Huntington Beach, California on her way to ballet class in June 1979. Samso's friend, this is a year after the dating game still. Samso's friends said that a stranger approached them on the beach and asked if they wanted to do a photo shoot. Said they were all very beautiful, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the chick I was talking about, she got away.
Lane,
okay.
whatever. Yeah, she got away. She's the one that saw the portfolio.
Yeah, okay. I see what I'm missing. Go ahead.
All right. So asked them if they want to do a photo shoot. They declined. Samso left, borrowed her friend's bike to hurriedly get to ballet. At some point between the beach and the class, Samso obviously disappeared. A park ranger 12 days later found her animal-ravaged bones in a forest area near the Pasadena foothills in the Sierra Madre.
How long later?
12 days.
Damn, out there in the woods too. There's fucking it's California, so there's like bobcats and fucking
badgers and raccoons.
Bobcat
and
Goldthwait is out there eating dead teenagers.
There's dead people out here, man.
He actually doesn't talk like that. He's actually really funny and nice. But
I like him.
Yeah, he's my friend. No, he's not. But
he could be.
But yeah, that sucks because that makes it harder to tell like what she was killed from.
Yeah,
when they find a body that's been
somehow they can still figure it out though.
Science,
yeah,
fucking science, bitches.
I think the autopsy person just has to make like a really educated guess. Ultimately,
well, I mean, I'm sure there's like science tests to see like if you're strangled, the like shape or condition of the lungs or the neck, or I guess it depends on what you have left to work with.
It's just hard to tell after like you've been eaten by animals, basically. You know.
Yeah. But so they found her out there, right? And this is where I pick up upon questioning. So the dead girl, Samso, what was her first name?
Yeah.
I don't have that part here.
Yeah.
What's her first name?
Robin Samso.
Robin Samso, yes. Okay. So upon questioning Robin's Samso's friends, that's when I got ahead of myself earlier, people. But after that, they questioned her friends that she was with that day. A police sketch artist drew up a composite, and Alcala's former parole officer actually recognized it from the police drawing between the sketch and his criminal past. This is how they kind of connected the case. Police felt confident that they had the right guy. The trial began in 1980. However, this was where the strange shit just began.
So a jury found Alcala guilty, obviously, of first-degree murder, and received the death penalty. Boom, done. Done, finished. Case closed, obviously, right?
Yeah.
However, the California Supreme Court overturned the verdict due to the jury being prejudiced and learning of Alcala's past sex crimes. It took 6 years to put him back on trial again. Obviously, it was a mistrial.
Yeah.
All right. Second trial.
So, second trial was in 86. Another jury sentenced him to death. Boom.
Again.
Got it again. Yeah. Death.
Again. It's obviously blatantly clear this guy needs
This guy
death.
fucking did it.
Yeah.
Well, this one didn't stick either.
Go figure. Justice.
Yeah. It ain't nobody else. It's just us.
It's
Anyways. A Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals panel. Why did it? Another court fucking overturned it, basically, in 2001. He was sentenced to death in 86. So in 2001, they overturned it. 15 years he's sitting there, and they didn't kill him. But they overturned it because the second trial judge did not allow a witness to make all the same details available during her second testimony.
So they had some objections, and they were trying to omit some stuff because they didn't want all the past sex crimes that weren't relevant to the case to be brought up again like they were in the first one.
Which, I mean, I would make the argument that they are relevant because that's just showing it's a pattern. He's a habitual line stepper. He's gonna keep fucking.
He's gonna keep doing it.
Yeah,
obviously, this guy can't help himself.
Yeah.
All right, well, just fast forward to 2010, 31 years after the murder, the third trial was held. Senior Deputy District Attorney Matt Murphy stated to the press, the 70s in California was insane as far as treatment of sexual predators. Rodney Alcala is a poster boy exactly for this.
Literally, they caught him from a poster.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
What did he do while he was in jail?
Well, before we get into that, like I said earlier, in the 60s and 70s, they did not know how to. They did not punish sexual crimes the way they. I don't think they did it appropriately. I think it was too lenient on as far as like
thing.
Yeah, on a lot of rape stuff, you'd get like probation or like a year or two in jail.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Stop.
It was basically like a stop it. Yeah, go ahead. But during the years he spent in prison, Alcala self-published his own book called "You the Jury."
This guy's active.
Yeah. I can't even read a book. This guy's writing them. The book is called "You the Jury." He self-published it. He proclaimed his innocence in the Samso case, said he didn't do it. He hotly contested.
Hotly contested. Real hot button.
Your Honor. No, he hotly contested the DNA swabs done on prisoners for the police. He didn't want the DNA in there.
It was for the police department's evidence bank. I guess
Yeah.
it was a random thing they started doing, was swabbing prisoners because they're trying to figure out cold cases because DNA just became introduced like in the early 2000s, right? The 2000s.
The 20,000s.
In the 20,000s.
Because this actually happened in the future. On top of that, so yeah, he was contesting to not have his DNA used, whatever. Fuck you. We're going to use it. Also, he brought 2 lawsuits against the California penal system. Penal sounds like penis.
Yes.
One for a slip and fall accident, fucking slipping Jimmy over here.
Yeah, he's slipping and falling.
Oh no! Yeah,
My back, my neck,
yeah, fuck you.
my back and my neck. Yeah.
And then he also brought another lawsuit to them for refusing to provide a low-fat menu.
And I feel like he won that one because now they honor in the jails, like if you have a certain restriction on diet, they like honor it if you fight.
I don't know.
enough.
I always tell them I don't eat beans and still only give me that
You
bean
can't say you
burrito.
don't eat beans. You got to say
I
you
don't,
eat
though.
kosher,
But
you
I
eat
don't.
Muslim, you eat low carb, you eat
You can't
keto,
eat
you
Muslims.
do that shit. You just say, you got to say it.
Yeah.
Just say, I eat Muslims.
I think that's funny. Well, and this was already like 2010, but
Do you think he
so
won the slip and fall and that's what financed his book deal?
No, I think he did that before. I think he did that before. And I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe he did.
It makes sense kind of, right? Get the slip and fall, you get a little bit of a settlement, now you got like 50 grand on your books, you know, you fucking like write a book. Like, I got enough to do that.
I mean, what's the point of writing that book, though? It's not like people are going to read it and then go and then they're going to storm the streets and demand that he's let out of jail. It's not going to happen.
People do read that shit.
I know.
This is
I get
probably a
that.
high-profile case at that time, and so I mean, like, just anyone that's involved to put out any transcript or anything about it. I mean, it's gonna sell. People want to see what the fuck's being said.
Yeah, I mean, I that's why we're doing this. We love crime. I love that shit. But like for him, like I feel like his point to it was like he was going to get the people on his side and get help, and people were going to get him out of prison. It's like, you're raping and beating women. You're not going anywhere, pal.
You think he had women that were like pen paling him and like fucking
for
loved him?
sure. All these serial
Loved him.
killers have that shit.
Conjugal visits. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're letting this guy go to fucking New York for the week. You know, I mean, come on.
How do you talk the fucking whole system, the police and all the authorities, into letting you go to New York for a week for a vacation with your cousin Lou?
I mean, this guy, he also masterminded the slip and falls lawsuit in jail and got the low fat menus done. So I mean, this guy's a thinker. He's a thinker.
I wonder if what if they did all low fat foods and all the other prisoners got mad? They're like, "The fuck, dude?
I needed that fat, man.
Yeah,
What the
I need
fuck,
that
dude?
shit.
The fat made it taste good."
I need that fat for raping your ass."
So Alcala announced that he was going to be his own lawyer in the third trial. No surprise. Even though now, 31 years after Samso's murder, investigators had also concrete evidence against him on 4 different murders from decades past, thanks to those DNA prison swabs he was protesting.
I wonder why he didn't want them entered into evidence.
It was hotly contested.
Yeah.
The prosecution was able to combine new murder charges along with Robin Samso's murder against him in the 2010 trial.
So in that 2010 trial, Rodney Alcala, acting as his own attorney, you're laughing, and we're laughing because of what's coming. So he's his own attorney, and he starts asking himself questions referring to himself as Mr. Alcala. So he's basically up on the stand, or he'd stand in front of the stand and just say a question to an empty chair, and then he'd run up there and sit in the chair and then answer the question to himself.
Like a totally different person.
Yeah. Like he didn't have a proxy, obviously, to stand in.
And Mr. Alcala, where were you on the night of this? And he's just like, hold on. He's
Yeah.
like, well, Mr. Alcala, I was actually at the Knott's Berry Farm. And
I wonder if he had any objections. He had to run down, but like, I object. But it even says here in the article that I'm reading or pulling a lot of this information from, it says, like an obvious weirdo. Yeah, he told the jury that he was at Knott's Berry Farm at the time of Samso's murder, played dumb on the other charges, and used lyrics from a bluegrass song as part of his closing argument. That bluegrass song is by Arlo Guthrie. It's Alice's Restaurant.
we gave it a listen.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, I put this song on while we were researching this. It's fucking terrible.
It fucking sucks.
It sucks.
That song sucks.
I'm not
How
a
do I not
bluegrass-
have a song if this song is fucking out?
I had two on Spotify. They're terrible, but they're actually pretty good. You should check them out. What's up? No, but
Plug.
It's so bad. It sounds like the old Motel 6 commercials, but it's just it's literally it's an 18.5-minute song.
Yeah.
And it's bad. I don't know what lyrics he used from it, but the song is terrible. Feel free to give it a listen. Like I said, it's called Alice's Restaurant. There's another word at the end. It's like Alice's Restaurant, McCrary, or I don't remember the last word, but it's by
Arlo Guthrie.
Arlo Guthrie. This went on for 5 hours. He
The
asked
judge let
himself
this shit go for 5 hours.
5 hours in 2010. Just 11 years ago, we had cell phones.
Like, this guy was doing like a fucking court filibuster on this day, is what it
Yeah.
felt like. Like, how much can he just fucking stuff into it?
5 hours, they let him ask himself questions and
guy-
switch places with himself.
This guy has been in prison for 31 years. Or actually, it's 31 years after the crime. He's been in prison for X amount of years, whatever, at that point. Since 86, right?
Yeah.
You got to find creative ways to stay
35
occupied.
years.
You got to find creative ways to stay occupied, I think.
That's it's just hilarious to me that the judge let him for 5 fucking hours of the judge's day, and probably an already very extensive case that they're going through a lot of shit.
2010, would it have been Judge Lance Ito in L.A.? Yeah, that motherfucker was sleeping on the
Was it?
fucking court stand before.
Was Judge Ito, wasn't he gone by 2010? I mean, that was in the 90s with
Oh,
fucking
yeah, maybe he was gone already.
Yeah.
He was partying.
Yeah, no, he's gone till November, dude.
He's gone till forever. Rodney Alcala simply stated that he didn't remember killing the other women, though. That's his defense. The only other witness for the defense, which was psychologist Richard Rappaport, offered the explanation that Alcala's memory lapse could be equated to his borderline personality disorder. The jury, not surprisingly, found Alcala guilty of the 4 DNA-backed charges and also found him guilty of killing Samso. No surprise.
Yeah.
Especially after a performance like that. They're like, okay.
He did it.
Okay.
Also, your
okay.
defense was,
Okay.
nah, you sure that was me? I don't think so. I don't remember that.
Nah, bro, chill.
I
Like,
don't
listen,
remember.
look.
Nah. I was at Knott's Berry Farm looking for another victim. I mean, another ride.
I was doing some photo shoots for some girls that day.
So a surprise. They actually had a surprise witness at his sentencing.
A surprise came in.
A surprise witness who was none other than Tally Shapiro, the 8-year-old girl that Alcala had raped and beaten within an inch of her life about 40 years ago.
Wow.
So they found this lady, and she was willing to come in. She was a surprise witness.
That's like everyone in the court was like, oh.
Yeah. Bombshell.
That's when she came in. They're like, nail in the coffin here.
She walks in, and then you just hear, day, bow, bow.
Oh, they were like, dottin, dottin, dottin,
Yeah.
dee, dottin, dow.
Yeah, people don't remember Super Troopers like we do. But Shapiro was there to witness as justice for Robin Samso, Jill Barcombe. These are ages.
These
Robin
are the victims.
Samso.
These are the victims.
Robin Samso was only 12,
Yeah,
13,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Jill Barcombe was 18. Georgia Wickstead, another one of his victims, was 27. Charlotte Lamb, 31. Jill Parento, looks like some kind of Cajun name.
I noticed he went
21.
from young to then he was like, maybe I should get with some old broads for a little bit. Was like, yeah, let me get back to the young broad again.
Yeah, I think and there's more to what I was going to say, but I had a thought on this when I read it earlier. I think he was a smart guy, right? IQ of 135. I think what he was doing was trying to throw the FBI off because
So
they
there's no
study
MO.
those patterns. Yeah, or so that they can't link the murders, so that he's not considered a serial killer. They're all one-offs because he switched the age up from obviously the 8-year-old he didn't kill, but almost did. But this other girl was 13, 18, 27, 31, back down to 21.
I don't foresee his killings being premeditated, though. They all seemed very spontaneous and impulsive.
I feel like his actions were premeditated, just the victim wasn't premeditated.
That's right. The victim was
what I feel
spontaneous.
like. Yeah,
For sure.
I feel like it was whatever he can get his hands on. But they sentenced him again. Third trial.
time's a charm.
Third time he gets the death penalty for the third time.
3 times, 3 strikes.
2010 death penalty. He gets it. Since that trial, investigators have continued to link the dating game killer to many other cold case murders, including 2, which he pled guilty in New York in 2013. The murders happened like back 71, whatever, but
Yeah.
2013 he pled guilty. The full extent of his crimes may never be known. They even questioned him on some of the Hillside Strangler investigations. They had like a whole squad that was dedicated just to the Hillside Strangler, and they came to this guy.
They're like,
and-
let's just ask him some questions about some of this shit, because their case was going cold. Oh, no, they weren't sure
Yeah.
of it. Yeah. Well, while still sitting on death row in California, Rodney Alcala, no surprise, died of natural causes at 77 on July 24th, 2021.
So about just over 3 months in a week. 3 months ago, he died in prison.
This guy beat the system. He never died by state death.
Well, I mean, somebody who did this many murders and you're on death row, I think it's you can call the electric chair a natural cause, right?
Can we also bring up the fact that this guy went from like a good-looking guy in the 70s to like we saw the photo of him recently and he looked like Jamie Lee Curtis from the new Halloween.
yeah,
Like,
there's that picture.
crazy wild white hair and
Michael. Michael, don't kill the gays. People are mad about it.
Yeah.
I saw a funny meme about that movie. Side note, people were trying to say it's homophobic because he killed the gay dudes, which they were just living in his house. He killed a lot of people. I don't
it
think
didn't matter who was living in the
he
house. He
didn't
was
know
going
if
to
they
kill
were.
them.
It's not like they banged him. He didn't know if they were gay. But I saw a funny meme that said, "It's funny y'all call him homophobic when that whole movie sucked dick."
That movie did fucking
Yeah, it was not that great.
Immediately, some of his victims spoke up, expressing their relief for the dating game killer. They were ecstatic that he was finally truly gone. The planet is a better place without him, and that's for sure. This is what Talia Shapiro said. She says it's been a long time coming, but he got his karma, which I don't feel like he necessarily got his karma.
No, he fucking still continued to fuck the system.
He made a
Got his
mockery out of
low-fat
it.
menu. He made a mockery.
He just played games.
I would have loved to be in that courtroom watching him.
That 5-hour shit.
I've had to do these. I did this one roast show, right, where they didn't give me an opponent. They had me roast myself.
Oh.
And it was like a wrestling themed comedy roast show. So I wore a tracksuit and I went as the Gabagoon. And I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was smart because I got like a big bread, like the big loaf of bread or the big
like a
just single
baguette?
bread.
Big
Yeah, like a big baguette.
Yeah.
I put that inside my track jacket on this side. On this side, I had a big summer sausage.
Nice.
So I would go to one microphone and I'd roast myself, and then I'd make a sandwich in my mouth and take a bite of each, and then I'd go to the other microphone and then roast me back. And the crowd fucking hated it because they didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah.
It was so because nobody told them. They were just like, go do it. I know better
Unbeknownst
now.
to them, it was genius.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. It's they'll love it. I'll be revered when I die in a couple weeks, but. That's what I feel like. That's what that looked like when he was fucking questioning himself in court.
Completely. So, I mean, in closing here, Investigator Sheeman, who is one of the main investigators.
Sheeman?
Sheeman.
Not going to touch that one.
Okay, thank you. And during interviews with the police, Alcala would trace his finger along the faces of his victims on the photographs put before him, like in a pretty guilty fashion. I mean, like, did you kill these people? No.
No. Shh.
No. Perhaps it was hopes that he would like enrage or irritate the detectives. Throughout the investigation, Sheeman was overcome with.
You know why he was doing that, right?
Why?
Try to get them to beat him up so he could fucking do another lawsuit or maybe
This
get a
guy
shorter
was
sentence.
Fucking smart.
Yeah.
He knew how to play the entire system. If he ended up being on death row basically for fucking 35, 40 years, didn't get executed, died of natural causes, played all these games, made a mockery, wrote a book. I mean, hold on a second. Can we look at this guy's timeline? You've got a really good timeline.
Yeah,
here, don't you?
and I'll just say too, like I know that when you get sentenced for murder, if you get convicted of murder, I don't know if it's in second and third degree also, but I know at least in the first degree, you automatically get an appeal. That's just the way the law works. You get at least one appeal. You're gonna at least get an appeal or two. So I mean, that's a long time though. I mean, fucking 35 years, and then he just died. We'll talk opinions on the death penalty after this, but yeah, let's look at this guy's timeline. So just going back, just a quick recap of his whole extent of life.
Of his tenure here.
So born in 43, right? 61 to 64, he was in the Army, 3 years, discharged because he had a breakdown or figured a way out. That's why I feel like now that after everything we've went through, I feel like he figured out a way. He just didn't want to be in the Army anymore.
That's right.
1968, he's out of the Army 4 years, goes to UCLA, gets a degree from there, and I don't know what it was, but who cares? Fuck him. 1968, he raped, attempted murder, and pleaded guilty to assault of Tally Shapiro, the 8-year-old. Did 3 years in prison. Actually, he was a fugitive first. And then when he went to NYU and studied under Roman Polanski in film
while
school,
he was a fugitive.
Yeah, 3 years under assumed name at NYU with Roman Polanski, probably just out there in New York, just fucking turning victims
Do you
over.
think he killed James Berger and took his identity?
Possibly.
It's a possibility.
John Berger.
John Berger.
He went by John Berger and John Berger. He had two different John Bergers, just one spelled like a burger you would eat, and the other one was the BER version.
Yeah.
So he was a fugitive from 68 to 71 in New York. They say New Hampshire too, which means he probably murdered someone there. 71, he also murdered Cornelia Crilly in New York. He got indicted for that. 71 to 74, he was in prison for the Tally Shapiro beating and rapings in California. In 74, Julie J. It just says Julie J. here, parole violation. And okay, so he gave Julie J. some marijuana. It says providing marijuana to a minor. Got convicted of that.
Trying to pick up some other girls.
Yeah. So Julie J. He was in prison for 3 years.
Julia J. Julie J. a J.
That was he Julie J. a chick. Get him out of here. So he's in prison for 3 years. Gets out in 74. Gives Julie J. some weed. She told on him or whatever happened. Spends 3 more years in prison for that conviction. He got as much time for giving a minor some weed as he did for beating and raping an 8-year-old and almost killing her. The same amount of time.
Man. 70s and 80s, boy.
Yeah, I feel like that weed, they should have just shot him. Just shoot him in the face.
I mean, that just tells you, man, that's the time you could have lived in to get away with some shit.
That you make it sound like you longed for that time. I don't like.
I wish those days were back.
Look,
Yeah.
those were the days. So 77 gets out. Ellen Hover murders her. Gets indicted for that in 2011.
This guy keeps getting out.
He's a slippery fuck.
Smart.
He's a fucking slipping Jimmy here. He's slipping through the fingers. In 77, he was out of prison, worked as a typesetter for the LA Times under his own name.
One got a job at the LA Times.
Well, duct tape gets expensive when you go through it that way. In 77, Antoinette Whitaker. It says murder and suspect, so they suspect him of murdering her.
Suspected murder for it.
If they suspect him, he probably fucking did
And this
it.
guy admitted at some point that he possibly killed between 50 and 100 people.
Insane. And we're not even done. So in 77, there's another one. Jill Barcombe, murder. He killed her and convicted of it in 2010. In 77, he was questioned regarding Hover in California. Should have skipped that part because we already talked about it. Then 77, Georgia Wickstead murdered her. Convicted for it in 2010. 77, still the same year. There's like 4 in this year. Pamela Jean Lamson.
It was a hot year for him.
Murdered. He was grinding in 77.
But this is where they dug all that DNA evidence up later on.
They were able to connect all these cold cases because they didn't bring any of these up. And then in 82, the year I was born, he murdered a lady in Wyoming, Christine Ruth Thornton. He got charged with that in 2016. 1978. Well, let's skip back. Okay, I don't know why I skipped back, but in 78, it's just saying he was interviewed by the Hillside Strangler Task Force. He had his own task force. That's notoriety.
They loosely thought he was the Hillside Strangler, I think, at first even.
Probably. That's probably what they were questioning about. I don't think they were like, so if you were the Strangler, how would you do it?
No, they were
Help
trying
us
to
out.
like Mindhunter fucking get
Yeah.
help from him and shit.
He was probably suspected as being the Hillside Strangler, which I don't remember that guy's name right now, but that'd be a good story to cover. 78, and he's incarcerated. And 78. So all that stuff I just told you, I'm still on the timeline. We're not done with his crimes, but all those things I just told you that he's done up to now, what's that, like 8, 9 women, like 7 or 8 he's killed, a few he's raped and beat.
We're on like 9.
So he's already done all that. He's been doing it for 10 years, since 68. He's been, that we know of. And 78 is when he's a contestant on the dating game.
Just right in the
Already
middle
done
of
all
all
this.
that.
They got a fucking murderer sitting as bachelor number 1.
Yeah.
And they didn't even fucking look this guy up. He's already been in prison he's already spent, at least out of these last 10 years, he spent like 9 of them in prison, and the other year out raping and beating as much as he can, killing as much as he can.
I like watching Game Show Network, and I think I'm never going to look at these old shows again. I'm going to feel like everybody's rapists and murderers.
I like to get really high and watch some of these old shows because they're so creepy but hilarious to me, but it's just so weird, like the social tone of everything from then to now, which... Now I'm just triggered by everything I hear. So, I'm sorry, triggered.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Hard R.
yeah. So and then so after the dating game, and the chick was like, no, you're too creepy.
Yeah.
Charlotte Lamb murdered.
Her being a snob fucking saved her life.
Yeah. Yeah. Good thing that one she was a prude or a bitch or whatever. The banana thing was weird, right?
Super weird.
I'm serving you as a meal. I'm a banana. Peel me. That's not a meal. That's something you grab because you're on the go and you eat it in the car.
That's just the stupidest shit to say. If you say anything like that on a dating game now, I think that you would guarantee you're not getting picked.
Yeah.
Social tones.
Yep.
Yep.
So, okay, so that's 78. 78, like I said, Charlotte Lamb killed her. 1979, Jill Parenteau.
You're being a little too proper here.
Chocolate bleu.
Yeah.
So he killed her. 79, same year he killed Parenteau. Robin Samso, the one we spoke about a minute ago, killed her in 79. Went to trial for it 3 times, 1980, 1986, and 2010. 1979, they arrested him on that. 1980, he was convicted and sentenced to death. 84, it was overturned. 1984,
Death again.
1986, he goes back to prison, sentenced to death again for Samso. 94, he wrote his book, so he spent 8 years doing that. 2001, conviction overturned by the Supreme Court. So 2003, they collected his data and they added 4 murders, or they discovered 4 more.
With the DNA. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they discovered those in 2003. They motioned to join them in 2003 also with his other ones, and it took 3 years for them to pass it. So in 2006, they bundled all his cases together.
Like a gift roll.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
2010, conviction number 3. So those other 2 got overturned. It took them a few years to get them back in. 2010, conviction number 3, sentenced to death again for the murders of Samso, Parenteau, Lamb, Wickstead, and Barcombe. 2011, he was indicted for 2 more murders, the ones in New York. Those other ones were California. I mentioned the 2 in New York were Hover and Crilly. 2013, he pleaded guilty and he got sentenced to 25 years of life for the murders of Hover and Crilly. Those are the New York ones. So he's already sentenced to death, and on top of that, so they got to reanimate him. They got to do a seance after they kill him and bring him back so he can haunt us for 25 years.
Yeah.
And then just recently, about 3 months ago, 2021, back in July, death by natural causes on death row.
Just dropped dead on his own by his terms.
Isn't that crazy? The guy was alive since the 43. He was fucking murdering and raping women during like free love. People from what obviously I wasn't alive in the 70s or 60s, but from what I understand, everybody liked to make the fuck back then.
He's probably one of them corduroy wearing fucking chumps.
He
That's
was
probably what it was.
He looked like he had a corduroy suit on, but he was a handsome man. But he lived through all that and then still lived through Corona, the COVID-19. And then he just keeled over and died. Just died. It says natural causes. I hope he fucking choked. I hope he fucking suffered.
I hate that fucking guy.
Yeah, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Rodney Alcala. He's survived by everyone else on the planet who thinks he's a dick.
Yeah.
So he's dead. He's gone. That's that story. We still did an hour and a half long episode.
Yeah.
But real quick, I just want to talk about this because it's relevant to this crime. What do you think about the death penalty? Are you for it? Are you against it? What's your opinion on it?
I mean, I think it's situational. I mean, if certain crimes are heinous enough to end up, in the judicial system, I think that, if it's a nasty enough crime, I mean, I support it. I just don't think that.
See, that's where I am. I feel like I have your same train of
I don't
thought.
think they should just be out here flipping the switch on everyone. I mean, it's just like
There's been a lot of people that even in the older days have gotten convicted and killed, and then they find out when DNA was available, oh, it actually wasn't them.
Yeah.
But I go back and forth on it because my thought is, one, why should we spend all this money keeping this person alive when they've clearly made a habit of killing, raping, especially if you're a pedophile?
There's a chance they can get out and do it again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think so. But at the same time, in my mind, what's the old saying, eye for an eye, right? When you kill someone, that's it. They're done. They're not suffering anymore. So it's like they get out of their sentence early. So, I mean, I go back and forth on it. It's situational for me.
It's completely situational.
It's situational.
I think it's got to be just like, I mean, if you kill like kids and it's like particularly grisly murders and all that kind of shit, then you don't need to be here anymore. But if it's just like a situation where, you killed a person and the details of the facts are fuzzy, I mean, I don't think death should always be the option on the table. That's what life in prison's for, but
at the same time, then, like I say, people who pay their taxes have to pay for that. I mean, that gets levied on us. And, like, the prisons are so full in the U.S. that, like, they're letting, like, lesser crimes out in some cases, or they're doing different things. I wish there was a different kind of punishment. Like, make this guy do some kind of service that we don't want to do.
When I was in, like, high school, I remember that there was talk of, this could have been purely fictional or just whatever, but there was talk of they were gonna like start making like some pay-per-view type shit where they were gonna throw like prisoners on islands and have them like fight each other to the death.
That's always been a thing, like Death Sentence.
Did you hear that shit too?
Like Death Sentence, the movie with Jason Statham.
So it was way before that though. So I mean,
but I would watch it.
I would watch it too. I'd pay the pay-per-view money for it too, man. I mean, fuck it. Watch these guys all kill each other.
Or like what was the other one? Gamer. They can get out early, like if they survive and shit.
Yeah.
I don't think you should let them out. Fuck that. But still, maybe let them have a steak dinner.
The system was designed so that they couldn't win. Remember what he ended up winning through the system. But
rules are meant to be bent.
That's it.
But that's that story. If you guys like that story, we're happy.
Congratulations.
No, but if you like that story, get on Apple Podcasts or whatever app you use. Give us a good review. Leave us some stars on there. We really appreciate it. Sorry if that was a little more serious than what you guys are used to, but that's what it is.
That's how it goes.
That's what it is.
Sometimes crime's not funny.
Yeah, sometimes crime doesn't pay.
Although this had some real comical angles to it, I mean,
we'll let them decide that.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, but we enjoy doing these crime episodes, and I think you guys are going to start getting a lot more crime from us. We'll talk about it. We're not going to do the crimes, or I'm not going to admit to them. But that laugh made it work. Thanks. But we hope you guys enjoy it. Follow me on Instagram at Mikey B the Comic. Like I said earlier, I do have shows coming up November 9th at Plano House of Comedy, the 10th at Addison Improv. Those are both next week. Hit me up. I got tickets for you. Find the podcast. We got tons. Like, there's over like 70 short videos on our Instagram at the Open Mic Podcast, and on our Facebook. Just search the Open Mic Podcast, MIKE. I know you guys knew this shit already, but I asked you to tell your friends, and they don't know yet. So you guys can find us on all platforms.
You can like mic roll somebody.
What's that?
It's like a Rick roll, but it's a mic roll. Just like force them to listen to that shit.
We're a fucking smart.
There we go. It's a me.
It's a me, Rodney. I get in the dating game. What's our Twitter?
Open Mic 5000.
Open Mic 5000, MIKE. And you guys check us out. If you guys also be on the lookout on those social media pages, feel free to reach out to us. But be on the lookout. We will be doing live shows soon. Like I said, we're going to test one out. pretty soon, probably. We don't have a date yet. I think I might push till after the start of the new year. But we want to make it fun for everybody, and we want to have a good time. Maybe we'll have a few comic guests come on, tell some jokes. We're still formatting things, but you guys come out to that. Come say what's up to us, or come tell us in person that we suck. But first, buy a ticket.
That's all you got to do.
That's it. Did I leave anything out? You got anything?
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Cool. All right.
Later.
Bye.